much like what you were describing. When my family was in Poland with no refrigeration, they got fresh food every day from the market. And they didn't eat, if they had meat, it was a one piece of meat to flavor the soup for everybody. Not everybody got their own plateful, right? So they had much fresher diets. Then when it came to the States, I was able to eat all the things I liked, which was nobody's fault. My family was just trying to give me what I liked, right?
Dr. Goldner, have you traced back your autoimmune disease? I mean, is it hereditary? Was there a glitch? Have you been able to trace it back?
There's a glitch. Well, I think there's many factors. So one is there is an understanding now that there is emotional trauma can lead to different kinds of conditions, including autoimmune disease. People with autoimmune disease have higher rates of trauma. Now, I didn't have emotional trauma, but we now know that they can be passed on genetically. So, for example, my grandparents were Holocaust survivors, and they suffered and starved greatly during the war in Poland. And my grandmother was a Holocaust survivor, and they have shown that maternal transmission of genetic trauma can affect you. So I think that definitely had an effect because there was no autoimmune disease in my family. I developed lupus at 16. My mom got rheumatoid arthritis when I was in my 20s, so much later. The other thing that was different was our diets. Much like what you were describing, when my family was in Poland with no refrigeration, they got fresh food every day from the market. And they didn't eat, if they had meat, it was a one piece of meat to flavor the soup for everybody. Not everybody got their own plateful, right? So they had much fresher diets. Then when it came to the States, I was able to eat all the things I liked. And my grandmother was big on pushing food, having starved during the war. She was trying desperately to fatten me up. And so I ate, I was put on formula right away as a baby because my mother's doctor said it was better for me than the natural stuff. And then it was straight to processed food, macaroni and cheese, Chef Boyardee. I loved all that processed stuff. And then when I was 12 or 13, my dad started working for Domino's Pizza, where I got to have pizza every single day, a teenager's dream. So yes, my diet was definitely not helpful, but I think it was many different things. I think there was a setup for some disease just based on what happened to my family history, and then the terrible Western diet that I was on from a baby, which was nobody's fault. My family was just trying to give me what I liked, right? But I definitely had a terrible diet. And yet still, it affected me worse than my friends, right? So I was 16 with kidney failure and arthritis. My friends were all fine eating McDonald's. Here I am in my mid-40s. I have zero diseases. I have no issues. My cholesterol is perfect. Blood pressure is perfect. I have no disease at all. All my friends who were fine back in the day, now they've got diabetes, heart disease, cancers, things like that. So no matter what your genetics, you still have great power to change them. And the primary thing that you can do to change them is change how you eat, how you treat your body. And you can turn off some terrible genes, and you can give yourself health and longevity that is actually even better than people who weren't even sick before you.